What's up, guys? It is Nick and Chandler here, and these are our finds today from the Michigan Metal Detecting Picnic I went to. First off, we want to give a huge thank you to Chris and Tom and Laura and everyone else who helped make it happen. It was really cool to be able to finally meet some of the other detectors that we've talked to online and get to know them a little bit more. Starting with my finds on the left, I got 2 buffalo nickels. I can't get a year off either of them. One of them I can almost get a year off of, but it's just too slick down. I'm probably going to nicotate them just so I can know, because otherwise it's going to drive me crazy. And then front and center, I got a 1942 silver quarter. I was able to get 2 mercury dimes, one from 1937 and one from 1935. And then I was also able to get 4 Canadian silver dimes, all I think from the 60s.
And moving right along with my finds, on the right there, I've got my Standing Liberty. I can't find a year on that one though. I got my 1957 and 1960 quarters. I got 3 Canadians. One is looks like a 68, a 64, and then I have a Centennial as well from 1967. I've also got 4 Mercuries, one from 1941, 1935, 1937, and 1943.
Again, it was really cool that we were able to go out and do this. We've seen the event for a couple years now, but we never actually had the time to go until this year, and so we checked it out for the first time and it was awesome. We'll definitely be going back next year.
Hang on to your ticket.
Tom Holiday here. We're out in Brighton doing our annual MMD Picnic. We've got a great turnout. There's probably, with the kids, I would say 60 to 70 people. We put a lot of silver in the ground. We have a lot of prizes, and we do this every single year. And in the spring we do a seated hunt. As far as metal detecting goes, when we get to that point, you know, I learned a lot in 6 years of metal detecting. I started off with a machine, which was a Fine Levy track, which my wife bought for me for my birthday, and she says it was the worst thing she ever did. But I learned that machine literally going out as much as I could for as long as I could and digging absolutely everything until I learned my tones. And my brothers were big mentors to me, and they both metal detected, so I would try to learn from them. I would go out with them and they would be digging Indians and barbers, you know, and I'm digging clad. And my brother kept telling me, he says, you know, deep is old and old is good. You got to go deep. And I thought I was going deep, going 6-7 inches down, which is deep, but it wasn't till I don't know how long, maybe close to a year, when I finally realized what he meant by the depth. Everything is depth, and as long as the signal repeats when you walk around it, you know, and it's weak and it's deep, dig it out, you know. I know I've said this before, but I had my hallelujah moment when I went to a park and it was kind of early spring. It was sleeting, it was cold, and I went out detected for a couple hours. I was soaking wet, and I came back up to my truck. I was wore out. I was upset because I didn't find any weeds or anything. And when I got up to my truck, I'm like, you know, the park's 115 years old. I mean, I know there's old coins and old things in here. What do I need to do to start finding this stuff? And stop, what do I got to do to stop, you know, digging deep clad? And it was just, it just hit me, just stop digging it. The easiest way not to dig clad is not to dig it, right? It's up to you to what you're going to dig and what you're not. But if you don't like digging the clad, then don't dig the clad. Listen for something different. And I put my mindset in that motion. I went back down the hill, second wind, and sure, when I walked back up that hill, I had like 7 or 8 silvers in my hand. I had like almost 40 wheat pennies. It was all in here. Most people, when they walk and they're swinging, they'll swing a little bit fast, and you know, coins aren't very big, and most of them aren't sitting flat down. They're on an angle, or they're cocked a little bit, so you're just gonna catch a little bit of them. And if you walk too fast, you're gonna go right over it. So if you slow it down, and you know an area is old, and you've done your research or whatnot, slow your pace down, and listen for that something different, that depth. And you walk around, make sure it repeats, and you dig it, you know. So that's kind of how I came to, you know, be successful as far as digging silver and you know, older coins, was simply knowing my machine and ignoring the stuff that I normally was digging, that I told myself, I'm not digging this anymore, I'm not going to do it, it's wearing me out. I'd rather spend the time up looking for a keeper than down digging 2 or 3, you know, clad coins. So, you know, like me with E-Track, you know, a lot of guys are this way. They just go by the tone, they can tell. And that's really all I do, is just go slow and patience, and just wait for those deep signals. And even if it's iron, deep iron that you're hearing, that's great, because now you're iron. If there's any iron in the ground, it's going to be old. And there's other things down in with that iron. So you just gotta work it slow and be patient and pick it out, you know. So that's pretty much it for me. That's kind of my concept.